When a spouse is seemingly caught cheating, statistically, they rarely confess right away. Most of the time, they lie. And not because they're inherently evil, but because denial actually feels safer than facing the damage that they have caused. When an unfaithful spouse is confronted, their first instinct is almost always to deny. They'll act shocked, confused, maybe even a little bit offended. But when you put the cold, hard facts in front of them, the screenshots, the messages, the undeniable proof, that's when the story changes. But even then, they usually only admit to what you already know. They'll give you the bare minimum, just enough to make you stop asking questions. And that's what hurts the most. Because while you're desperate for honesty to finally feel safe again, they're still managing damage, not repairing trust. This back and forth cycle of denial, confrontation, and half-truths doesn't just destroy trust, it actually rewires it. Every time it happens, it pushes the marriage further from any kind of recovery. And the longer it goes on, the deeper the secrecy runs, the harder it is to rebuild anything real.
Wow, you just hit the nail on the head. There's so much heartbreak and devastation around infidelity. And way too many couples think that because they've said, I'm sorry, then life should move on. Everything should just go back the way things were. It doesn't happen that way. You see, the problem is that there's this wound that doesn't just get healed like that over time. You see, you need to understand there's a specific process to repairing after infidelity. And we've been able to map it out into 5 stages. The first stage is total ownership. You have to own it. You have to accept that you have failed your spouse. Then we move on to the emotional safety plan. The question is, what is the game plan to build that trust that has been broken? Then we move on to how to restore what was broken in the first place that led to the infidelity. A lot of times, it could be that there was a break in communication. It could be that there was a lot of conflict in that relationship, in that marriage. And so we have to first deal with those things that led into it. Sometimes it may not even be any of those things. It could just be the immaturity of one of the spouse or the indiscipline. But we have to go back and find out what causes this infidelity. Then we move on to the stage where we work on what is triggering this infidelity. A lot of times people don't realize that things do not just happen. They don't just happen isolatedly. A lot of times something triggers it. So I'm in the gym, for example. It could be that for some people, maybe going to the gym, seeing ladies dress in seductive ways, or hanging around with kind of friends that encourage this kind of lifestyle. Sometimes people need to go back and find out what is triggering this thing. There's something that's always triggering it. So that's part of the process. So you need to understand that this whole process is not just something that you just do overnight. So I want to strongly encourage you that if you find yourself in this situation where you are trying to heal from infidelity, reach out to me, head to my DM and send a DM, and let's walk through this process for you and help you to build that trust if you really want your marriage to work again.